His Excellency Turkey Al Sheikh, he wants to see the rematch between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, and he's now offering Mike Tyson $700 million.
Such an incredible fight and bring it to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
It is not something to surprise or not. We have a lot to fight.
Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
Mike Tyson has reportedly been offered a whopping $700 million by Saudi Arabia for a rematch with Jake Paul, and the news has sent shockwaves through the sports world. Fans are still up in arms over the controversy surrounding their first fight, which most everyone has widely criticized as staged, and they are clamoring for a showdown where Tyson might silence his critics and redeem his name by delivering a decisive knockout.
Requested the 2-minute rounds, wanting to see more action. He just landed the overhand right, testing the beard of Paul early.
And everybody was saying, oh, nice shot by Jake Paul.
Right hand by Paul.
Conspiracy theorists argue that Tyson, now 58, took the fight for the $20 million payday and let Paul have an easy victory. After all, Tyson is well past his prime, hadn't fought in years. Some even claim Tyson wasn't attacking at all, making it seem like the whole thing was staged for Paul to get a win over a legendary boxer.
Kid, when he was the champ, it was like people don't understand what a champ he was. Like he wasn't just the heavyweight champion of the world. He was an executioner.
The spectacle is set to take place in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, a venue that has quickly become a hub for high-profile sporting events. But what does this massive payday mean for the sport of boxing and for Tyson's legacy? The first fight between Tyson and Paul barely scraped $20 million in revenue, so the jump to $700 million is both shocking and unprecedented. This deal reeks of spectacle over substance, but it is a reminder, nonetheless, that modern boxing has become as much a business for showmanship as athletic prowess.
Yeah, I maintain that in the time where he was champion, like the 2 or 3 years where he was at his best, he's the greatest fighter of all time.
Of all time.
Of all time.
Mike Tyson has a puncher's chance against anybody. Mike's 58 years old.
Once feted as the toughest boxer of his generation, Tyson made a surprising comeback at 58 years of age. Some might regard it as a nostalgic nod to the boxing great, while others regard it as a cash-in by using his legend for commercial reasons. Tyson's ring legacy is irrefutable. In his prime, he was not only a heavyweight champion, but an executioner, a fighter whose mere presence instilled fear in his opponents. He dominated the late 1980s with an iron fist, becoming one of the most dominant and feared athletes the sport has ever seen. But Tyson today is not the same fighter who terrorized the division decades ago. His punches, though still powerful, have become more about drawing attention than devastating his opponents. For those who remember his peak, this return to the ring is bittersweet, an echo of greatness rather than a revival. This rematch is also in part about Jake Paul, the YouTube phenomenon turned boxer who made a career out of controversy and hype. Love him or hate him, Paul has somehow transformed his oddball journey into a successful business.
Is he a legitimate boxer?
A legitimate boxer, yes. People mocked me when I was saying that before, but now I think people are coming around.
Each time he steps into the ring, it's no longer about the sport itself, but rather the spectacle, the drama, the headlines, and the social media frenzy that follows him wherever he goes. Fans are tuning in not for technical brilliance, but to see if he can finally be brought down by a legitimate opponent. And make no mistake, the $700 million offer for this fight is not just about Tyson and Paul. It's a calculated move by Saudi Arabia to cement its position as a major player in global sports.
A lot of things about this.
You're just a big fight fan.
Yeah.
You love boxing.
Yeah.
Yes. Why? Where did that come from?
From the youngest generation.
Such an incredible fight and bring it to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
It is not something to surprise or not. We have a lot to fight before, and in the kingdom we are focusing in a lot of things.
The kingdom has already had major bouts in boxing, soccer, and WWE. The fight forms part of its strategy to be the centerpiece of international sports and entertainment. This event would be more than just another fight. It will be the world's show. It shall be done with first-class marketing, broadcasting, and sponsoring deals designed to capture worldwide attention. Turki al-Sheikh is the head of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, and he has been the driving force behind this move. Known for bringing Cristiano Ronaldo to the Saudi Pro League and hosting some of the biggest WWE events, he's now targeting boxing. This $700 million offer is part of a broader vision to make Saudi Arabia the go-to destination for high-profile events. Hosting Tyson versus Paul is as much about flexing the country's economic and cultural muscle as it is about the fight itself. But for fans of the sport, this match raises serious concerns. Tyson's age is a major factor. At 58, he's far removed from his prime.
He's now offering Mike Tyson $700 million to knock out Jake Paul. And it's all coming from...
Jake needs these guys. Jake needs Tyson and needs all these other people because everybody's going to tune in to hope that Mike Tyson knocks him out.
Although he may still have the charisma and a decent punch, the truth is that he's not the same fighter who, a few years ago, tore apart his opponents with scary efficiency. Too many are afraid that going back into the ring, especially to a younger opponent like Jake Paul, would tarnish what was a great legacy instead of enhancing it. Paul feeds on spectacle. His career is built on polarizing the audience half tune in to see him win, the other half to see him get knocked out. But regardless of the outcome, Paul knows how to generate attention and maximize his earnings. For him, a victory against Tyson, even at this stage of Tyson's life, would be a career-defining moment. It would give him a semblance of legitimacy as a boxer, despite the fact that many still view his matches as little more than entertainment rather than serious competition. This bout is everything wrong about boxing in modern times to the purists. The sport at its best is about theater. However, fights such as Tyson versus Paul blur lines that make a legitimate competition border a sideshow attraction. In essence, the true art lovers who respect this sport mourn that this is an event that overshadows what makes the sport most meaningful: the skill, discipline, and art of its very best form. At this price, even if this sells millions of pay-per-views, it endangers the sport's own heritage. Well, with criticism like that, there is no way this fight won't generate monumental attention. Tyson and Paul both are marketing geniuses. Every tool in their toolbox will come alive to ensure the world witnesses their battle. From Twitter spats to Instagram teasers to TikTok challenges, there would never have been a buildup for any event like this. This is not just a fight, it's a media event designed to dominate headlines and feeds. What does it mean for the future of boxing? On the one hand, this sport now gains a global platform and a financial windfall through such events. On the other, it risks alienating its core audience, the fans who cherish the authenticity and tradition of the sport. Boxing will be lost to itself if it continues along this path, where it puts more emphasis on the spectacular rather than on the substance. For Tyson, this fight is a tough decision. He has to weigh the financial allure against the risk of his health and legacy. Can he still perform at a high level, or will stepping back into the ring only serve to diminish his stature? At 58, every fight carries significant risks, and one has to wonder if this is the right way for a legend to close out his career. The stakes are equally high for Paul. While a win would raise his status, a loss, especially a decisive one, would damage his carefully crafted persona. Despite his success in promoting himself as a boxer, he still has many critics who question his legitimacy. A loss to Tyson could provide them with the ammunition they've been waiting for. At its core, it's a fight that reflects not just the sport, but an indication of how sports and entertainment are changing in this modern age. In this case, competition, drama, and marketing all seem to become blurred lines, as events tend to matter more than what takes place in the event itself. In short, Tyson versus Paul perfectly illustrates this shift in perspective about the future of the sport as a spectacle. While the fans await an official announcement, one thing is sure: if this fight goes through, it will be one of the most talked about events in recent memory. It will be remembered either as an historic clash or a cautionary tale. But for sure, the world will be watching, and the effects of this match will reach far beyond the ring.